Hello and welcome to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today's review, Returnal for the PlayStation 5. So I got this game at launch, paid full price for it, $75 after tax, and my first impression slash review for this game is, I don't know, it's really hard to recommend paying $75 for this game. Let me tell you why. First of all, the visuals are the first thing you're going to notice when you boot this game up. Um, doesn't look like a $70 game. This is basically a double A game for the price of a triple A. Now that doesn't mean the gameplay's bad. The gameplay is definitely fun, but extremely irritating. Um, Honestly, I don't feel like the game is balanced. It feels more cheap than actually like skill based, if that makes sense. I've been playing for 4 hours now, and well, let me grab this controller and see. Let's see, because I'm in my little spaceship thing where it tells you everything. So let's see, where are we at? All right, so 5 hours and 13 minutes I've been playing this game. And I would say I'm pretty decent at games. I mean, I've beaten Dark Souls 3, I've beaten Bloodborne, I've played some pretty hard games. I've beaten Ninja Gaiden 2. I'm definitely there for the challenge, but I don't I don't know if this game feels more like it's challenging, or if it's just, or if the difficulty spikes are baked into the gameplay to make sure that you die, so that you have to experience some of the cutscenes and some of the story elements that go through this. They say that this game is procedurally generated, but I mean, yeah, that is the case. Every time you die and wake back up, it is definitely, the environment has changed. But if you played for 5 hours, you've seen every bit of environment that it's going to give you in that section. They just rearrange. I mean, everything is familiar once you see it again. Like you'll know. Oh yeah, I've been to this area before. And so when I'm talking about like the difficulty spikes, is like the boss of this section. You know, you get to him and he's got this long bar, and then after you beat that bar, then it's another one, and there's three little yellow dots above, so you got to beat him 4 times, and each time he progressively gets more he gets harder, if if that makes sense. When I first got to him the first time, like he was already like he was challenging to get that first bar down, like it was challenging. But then after I beat him, I was able to just take a turn, and lo and behold, there was the boss fight again. It was like right there. You know, you could go straight there with just your handgun. So I was like, what the hell? I jumped down there and like took him out. That first round wasn't even a problem. And then his second round was more like the first round that I experienced when I first fought him. So I think this game probably has some weird way of adjusting difficulty. Like if you're doing really good, then it throws a bunch of crap at you. Like the last time I just died, I went into this room and it just started spawning wave after wave after wave. I mean, granted, the door did have a star over it, so that's probably like a wave, like that kind of a room. Like you go in there and like you'll fight a bunch of waves, and then you'll get a like a bonus or a benefit for that. I'm not saying that the challenge is hard, like that's bad. Like that is probably the best part of this game, is the challenge. It is definitely challenging and fun, and I mean, even though it feels cheap, like the exploration of like going, but now I've been on the stage for 5 hours, so the exploration of it is kind of like, until I find a grappling hook thing that I can get to other spots in there. Um, But I mean, when you die, like it's like automatically you get right into the next thing, and then you find like the thing you need like really quick, like almost instantaneously. So I feel like the hardness of it is more there just to like unfold the story, so to speak. I mean, you probably most people are probably going to get frustrated and turn this game off and be like, "The heck with it! I don't want nothing to do with it." That is definitely a major possibility for this game because 5 hours and I've died 11 times. Areas explored 62. Hostile. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like that part of the game is in there, and it can get frustrating. I can see how that can get frustrating when you're just trying to, get through something and see the story and stuff. But I mean, don't let the frustration of it like hold you back from getting this game because it is definitely it is definitely fun to play. Now, let's move on to my favorite subject, the visuals. This game is what I would like to call Sony's Fuzz K. Fuzz K means it's not 4K. No, no, no. According to Digital Foundry, this game is 1080p, upscaled to 1440p, checkerboarded to 4K, and it shows it. It's fuzzy. Like some things, that's the thing with this game. Like some like the cool things that look really really cool and look amazing are just drugged down by the poor muddy blurry visuals all around it. Like when you transport from one thing to another, that animation that looks cool. Like that looks really cool. But everything else around it is like ugly. So it just that part of it is kind of immersion breaking, but you're moving around so fast in this game that most of the time if you're not going to be really paying attention to the visuals, but I mean there's some stuff in here that just it doesn't hold up to my standard of $70 first party AAA whatever the hell Sony said when they were raising the price to $10 for every game. This game at $49.99, I would highly recommend. It would I would have no regrets, no hesitation recommending you this game for $49.99. But $70 plus the tax wherever you live, that's pretty close to $100 for a game that I mean, if you're lucky, you're going to get 40, 50 hours of gameplay out of this just because it's hard and it's going to take you that long to get through everything. Whereas most people are going to play this for 5 hours and be like, what the hell? I'm over this. I'm done. I don't want to play it no more. I mean, I've enjoyed my time with it. I think it's fine. I mean, the visuals, that's a big thing to me. When Sony comes out and they tell me, yeah, we're raising the price $10, because our games are amazing and we'll let the games speak for themselves. Like I expect high quality visuals. I expect a good quality story. I expect a $70 one and done PlayStation first party exclusive. That's why I buy a PlayStation every generation is I expect those quality games from Sony first party. I will always buy a PlayStation for those. Like I have like I don't even hesitate. I will buy a PlayStation for purely for their first party exclusives, especially when they're, you know, The Last of Us 2 quality or Spider-Man. I mean, these games are freaking amazing. They look better than anything on the market. There's no question about that. But Returnal, I'm sorry, it's not that $70 experience that you would expect from a Sony first party exclusive. And it's not a Sony first party game. I don't think they own Housemarque. Housemarque has always been a double A studio, and Returnal is no different from that. It is a double A game on a PlayStation 5 that makes you question the power of the PlayStation 5, if that makes sense. Like I know that Ratchet and Clank's going to come out in June, early June, and that game's going to blow the visuals out of the park. But as for Returnal, I highly recommend you wait till the price drops or until it goes on PlayStation Plus. I know you've been waiting long already for a PlayStation 5 game, but this is just not that $70 experience for the casual gamer. For somebody that's casual or just a diehard fan of PlayStation or not really or has to have like an easy mode for a game, this is not for you. This game is frustratingly hard. It is definitely challenging, and it's not challenging in the fact that you can't push buttons or move fast enough. It's challenging because the difficulty. I don't think it's balanced if that's the gameplay they're going for. But if it's what they want in there, then yeah, if it's designed to make you die to experience the story, then it is what it is. But I I don't know. I mean, I feel like it frustrates more than serves its purpose in a sense that like because when you're moving along and you're going for a long time and you're having fun and you're exploring, that feeling's great. That this game is great for that. But then once you die and come back and the next 30 minutes are filled with cheap deaths that you feel are cheap deaths, then yeah, that's frustrating and it's irritating and you're like, what could I have done to have gotten out of that? And you're like, oh, nothing, because there was nothing you could do. It was preordained you were going to die there. Um, as far as the story goes, if you're brave enough to buy this game, you'll definitely figure that out on your own. I'm not here to spoil any stories for you. I'm just here to talk about the graphics, and if I feel like this is if the gameplay warrants $70, I don't. I feel like a solid $50 is definitely worth that. It is definitely worth $50, but $70, I don't know. I guarantee this game will be half price or less within 3 to 6 months, give or take. If you can hold off 3 more months and get it at half price, I would highly recommend doing that. Or I guess you could wait for it to come to Game Pass. I'm just joking. It ain't coming to Game Pass. But that's basically my review. If you like this review and this was helpful for you, I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I mean, honestly, Returnal is the type of game why I decided to start reviewing video games, because I watch reviews and then I buy these games, and I've got 500 games on my PlayStation 5 and Series X, and there's a good majority of them I won't even play because they're not good. They're not they don't keep me engaged long enough to play them. And when you're older like I am and you have more money than time to actually buy whatever video games you want, like $60, $70 price tag for me is really not that big of a deal. But for somebody like you, the $70 might be like your game allowance for 6 months, 7 months. I mean, I don't know if Returnal is going to give you that gameplay, that return on investment long enough to. I mean, it's a Sony game. Like I I haven't watched any reviews on this yet. The only thing I've seen is the Digital Foundry talk about the visuals and what that is. And I mean, like I right when I turned it on and I got out of the spaceship and I looked at the freaking grass right next to me, I could tell you it was Fuzz K. This game isn't 4K. It doesn't look like that. It's blurry, fuzzy. Like the visuals, like when there's this part where you'll get to her house. I mean, they've already shown this in like previews and stuff, but like if you turn and you look at the mirror, like that shit's ugly. That the reflection of your character is atrocious. I mean, it is nowhere near the quality visuals that a Sony first party studio would be responsible for. So I yeah, that's basically my 2 cents on it. I hope this saved some people some money and a lot of frustration because it's not where it needs to be. This should be priced like Miles Morales. Miles Morales looks 1,000 times better, and the gameplay in Miles Morales is definitely worth playing for another month and a half till Ratchet and Clank comes out, because we all know Ratchet and Clank is going to be an amazing game. Well, with that, I'm going to leave you with this review, and hopefully you will take the time to watch it. And goodbye.